Thank you. Good evening. It's the 13th of April, so we'll say it's Monday the 13th, not Friday the 13th. And welcome all. This is our regular school board session, which I will now call to order. Pledge of Allegiance. It's the first item on the agenda. Could we have Bree Hawkins lead us in the pledge?
Let's go. Let's go. Just say
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. She will never come again. Perfect.
I want you to know, Bree, that Susie suggests.
I would also like you to know I had nothing to do with it. Great. It's nice weather out today.
We'll move on to the adoption of the agenda. Are there any changes or amendments to the agenda? If not, then we will accept and we will adopt the agenda as presented. The next item on the agenda is our commendations. Let's begin with the elementary school.
So we have a student who was not able to attend our last meeting in January, and so we'd like to invite up one of our esteemed students who continues to represent Nissa Elementary Bullpups well, Jennereth Trinidad Santana. So I had Jennereth in kindergarten. Go ahead and stay right here by Miss Book. In kindergarten and first grade, she is a kind and helpful student and always tries her best in my class. I appreciate her perseverance and hard work. It was great to see the growth she made over 2 years since she was in my room. Congratulations, Jennereth, Miss Masso.
Tuve a Henry en kinder y primer grado. Ella es una estudiante amable y dispuesta a ayudar y siempre hizo su mejor en mi clase. Aprecio su gran esfuerzo. Fue maravilloso ver el crecimiento que tuvo durante los 2 años que estuvo en mi salón. Felicidades.
Thank you for letting us do that. And also from our grade K1-2 is Connor Osborne. So Connor is an exceptional kindergarten student. He is very mature, respectful, honest, hardworking, and kind. Connor will help others. He will not tattle, but instead will remind those students that what they're doing is wrong. Connor has leadership skills, and I am always going to predict his future. As I would say in 5th grade, he will be in the leadership program. So perhaps more inspiring and leadership positions are waiting for him. You're a great young person. Keep shining with your wonderful onward attitude. From Mrs. DeProm. Congratulations.
And our 5th grader this month is Yolanda Avalos. Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
Next, we will have the online school.
All right, I'm recognizing a whole family this month. Family of 3 is their first year with us at Nissa Virtual. We have Justice, Clara, and Everest. I pronounced them Everett, so you have to excuse the video. But I got to meet this family, and it's their first year, and I wanted to recognize them. they've showed a tremendous amount of growth, especially in their first year. The mom and dad are really worried about them falling behind, but they've actually have excelled. So here is the Buckner family.
Congratulations to the Boatner family for the Students of the Month. We are recognizing Justice, Clara, and Everett. This is their first year with NISA Virtual School, and it has truly been a game changer for the family. The opportunities it has created for these 3 students have been incredible. According to Mom and Dad, by having access to the educational resources that NISA Virtual provides and seeing their kids being successful has been such a gift. This year, the Boatner family are trying a new math curriculum, and guess what? They absolutely love it. All 3 kids have also been able to explore extracurricular activities like ninja classes, and kung fu for the boys, and horse riding lessons for Clara. They've also been able to dive into hands-on science kits throughout the year, making learning both fun and meaningful. One unexpected benefit has been the weekly learning logs. What could feel just like another requirement has actually become a valuable opportunity for each child to reflect on their week and build their writing skills. We are so grateful for Justice, Clara, and Everett. Keep up the amazing work, and we look forward to seeing your growth with NISA Virtual School. Like I always say, remember, we are NISA Strong.
We'll move on to middle school.
All right. I'd like to call up Noemi Montoya, our student of the month. You want me to put it on? Do you want to put it on? Okay, there we go. There you go. All right. So I'll read just a couple. There's quite a few on here. I'll read just a couple. The first one is from Mrs. Davis. She says, Noemi is a great candidate for Student of the Month. Not only is she academically strong, but she is a kind-hearted soul to all those around her. She is always happy to come to class and extends a cheerful hello and a high five, even to her teachers. Nice. She is helpful and is often seen supporting other students in her small group setting. Congratulations, Noemi, a well-deserved recognition for a great student. That was Mrs. Davis. And then from Mrs. Sandoval, Noemi is a stellar student. She gives all her effort every day in class. Make sure she checks in that she is where she wants to be academically and is always willing to lend a hand, a helping hand. Other students enjoy working with her and are comfortable with coming to her for help. Oh, wow. That's nice. I love having her in class. Congratulations from Mrs. Sandoval. So, Noemi Montoya. Some of the good teachers said too. All right, and now for our volunteer, Lupe Arocha. Lupe, if you want to come up. Yeah, very nice. And there's a little bulldog pin on there for you. Thank you. Mrs. De Leon had this to say, Lupe has been an invaluable part of our wrestling program, consistently demonstrating dedication, reliability, and a true passion for the sport. She has never hesitated to step in and offer assistance, always showing up with a willingness to help wherever needed. Her ability to build strong, genuine rapport with our athletes has made a lasting impact, creating an environment of trust, respect, and encouragement. With a deep knowledge of wrestling and a strong connection to the history of NISA, Lupe brings both experience and pride in everything she does. Her commitment not only strengthens our program, but also helps carry on tradition and values that make NISA wrestling special. We are incredibly grateful for Lupe's continued support and the positive influence she has on our athletes and our community. This is Lupe Arocha. And last, but certainly not least, Miss Sarah Sapp is our Employee of the Month. There's so many fun ones on here. It's hard to pick just two. So here we go. Sarah Sapp. This is my favorite one. Sarah Sapp is what it would be like if my imaginary best friend came to life. She's so cool, so hot, so smart, and so supportive and helpful. I almost can't believe she exists. But I am so thankful she does. Loves and squills Miss Caputi.
I was like, Gina, we need to talk after. Never mind, it's okay. Roseanne's time.
Oh, where to go to next? All right, I'm going to read through because Mr. Hunter said Sarah is just the best. Enough said. That was Mr. Hunter. And then Mr. Draper. Sarah, without question, deserves the award of Employee of the Month. She is one of the hardest working employees in the entire school district, and she just makes life better for everyone in this middle school. She's funny, kind, patient, strict when needed, selfless, attentive, and always willing to go the extra mile. She deserves $1 million for the work she does. She's not afraid to state her opinion and will set a person straight if they get out of line. Mr. Draper says, which I've been on the receiving end a few times. Receiving end of a few times. And finally, she's a great example of positivity in our school, and she consistently brightens others' days. Sarah, you're awesome. Congratulations. You really deserve this award. Miss Sarah Sapp.
And last but not least, the high school.
You forgot the yarn dogs, man.
All right, our student of the month for high school is Karen Telez. Come on up. All right, this first one is from Mr. Sapp. Congratulations, Karen. This award is well deserved. Karen is a hard worker, extremely intelligent, and always very kind. She is someone who will always make somebody's day better. She is loved by both students and staff alike. Karen is a pleasure to have in class, and we'll miss her when she graduates. Way to go, Karen.
Felicidades, Karen. Este premio es muy merecido. Karen trabaja muy duro, es extremadamente inteligente y siempre es muy amable. Ella siempre hace que sea el mejor. Ella siempre ayuda a ser el mejor día para otros. Ella es amada por estudiantes y los maestros. Karen es un placer tener en clase y la vamos a extrañar cuando se gradúa. Muy bien, Karen. Eso es del señor Sapp.
All right, and Mr. Coach Long, Karen is one of my most veteran and committed senior weight students. I have enjoyed the pleasure of having her in class all of her high school years. She is coachable, thorough, committed, hardworking, and pleasant. She is a great example to other students of what being committed in the weight room looks like. I appreciate her effort and will miss her presence when she graduates. Congratulations, Karen. Keep being awesome.
Karen es una de las más veteranas en mi clase de pesas. He encantado tenerla en mi clase durante todos sus años de la preparatoria. Ella trabaja duro y siempre es un placer tener en clase. Es un gran ejemplo para los otros estudiantes en la clase de pesas. Siempre me encanta su esfuerzo y la voy a extrañar cuando se gradúe. Felicidades, Karen. Sigue siendo increíble.
All right, and there's a lot more, but I'm going to let her read them to herself when she gets home. All right, Karen.
Congratulations to all our awardees. If you would like to step into the hallway, we will have pictures taken. And you're always welcome to come back in for the rest of our meeting if you would like. We'd love to have you. But anyway, we'd like you to have your pictures taken for our, with your families, please.
Yeah.
It's exciting that so many family members came to watch their students receive the award. Next on the agenda are visiting patrons. The first item are the spelling bee medalists. Mr. Murray.
Thank you. Well, as you know, we hosted the 10th annual Mount Here County Spelling Bee on March 12th, and at that time we had 19 other schools here and about 110 finalists from those schools represented. And I would like to recognize 3 of our students who did extremely well at that ceremony or at that competition. Not only did they represent NISA and their grade level, but they also did well enough to medal at the ceremony. And what you'll see here that these are, all 3 of them finished second. And that's not just second in the school, but that's second in the entire county. So we're talking about grade level, like the second best speller in the entire county in the 2nd grade or the 5th grade or the 7th grade. And so I'd like to bring up 2nd grader Emma Hawkins. 5th grader Jenna Blazard. And 7th grader Damien Jacobo. And I've had the good fortune of seeing just about all of their competitions right at the end, and it could have gone either way with these second place performances. It could have easily been a first, and then they would have been in the finals competing for the top speller in the county. But having said that, I expect good things out of all 3 of them going forward, and you never know, we might get a county champion out of one of these 3. Anyway, so congratulations.
Thank you and congratulations. And if you would like to step in the hallway, we can get your pictures taken also with your family.
I'll edit myself in there. It's all good. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We'll now move on to the 2026 senior trip.
Miss Amity's not here. Amity Hartley's the senior president, so we'll give her a few minutes to see if she shows. If not, then I've got the logistics, most of it. Does that make sense? Would that be okay?
Okay,
We all right with that?
that would be fine. Is there, hopefully she'll come.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Aslan's trying to get hold of her.
Is there any public comment? Have we gotten any? Since there's no public comment, we will now move on to reports. Our ASB report.
How are you guys doing today?
What is it?
Okay, I'm still liking this spot over here, so I'm gonna come over here and still it again. Just like to see you guys as well, and not leave you all the way back here, so again, I'm gonna turn this way. So first of all, we know last meeting I was trying to rush off to support the court, so we had that happen, which was pretty fun and just kind of just good to see, I guess, in our community, especially in NISA. Just love to have it here. Felt very heartwarming to really be there and see that all happen. I hope you guys got a chance to see that, or at least see pictures after the fact. And we have spring sports are still continuing on. We have our golf, track, softball, baseball still going on, we're doing pretty good, you know. We have graduation planning that's continuing on. We have seniors sending in like their baby pictures, quotes, and senior photos that they want recognized in our yearbook. We also got our pictures taken for the banners we usually get posted out here, so it was pretty fun. Excited to see how those turn out this year. We had prom happen this weekend. It's pretty good. Decorations were amazing, I would have to say that. And they did a great, amazing job. Prom committee did that. And then lastly, what I have on here is state testing has begun. We started that today from 1st to 3rd period, I believe. And now they're just continuing on that with testing just in their class period for that class. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. I wish I had more information about the senior trip, but
Do you want me to just talk about it now?
She's not.
Okay. And can I, yeah,
Mhm.
obviously, in terms of stuff, Amity Hartley's the president, and we've had pretty good communication about it. We got a quote, they were trying to get a charter bus, so the quote came back well above what they believed it was going to be. So one of the things I told Amity, obviously it's an overnight trip, we have to ask permission, especially for using district property. And so as our normal senior trip, right, the planning would be leaving approximately 3 in the morning, right, the day after graduation. We go down to Lagoon, it's the same process they're looking for. Generally speaking, it takes 2 vehicles to do that. Hotel room for the bus driver, to give them the adequate rest during the day to be able to come back. And the kids will spend the rest of the day there. They've got the funds to do that, obviously. Any other funds, they're looking to either distribute it back or put it in their student body account for their reunion, or potentially looking at a senior gift. And so what they need from you is they need, obviously, access to bus transportation and helping with that process in terms of fuel.
And I would ask, I mean, it did come above where we thought it would, is that the district essentially compensates what is, I mean, above what they already planned for. So, you know, gas prices and those things, is that the district support the senior class for, again, the rest of the cost. So.
Not the charter, but just the use of a bus.
The charter, I'm asking for charter.
Okay.
It is something that they've worked really hard to accomplish, and they were really wanting to kind of do. And so what I'm asking the board is that if we're going to compensate so they can still use that charter.
What's the difference?
I think based on if they have like 5,000 on charter, we usually kick in 2,000 for our bus driver, so we would kick in an extra 3. So whatever that is, that's kind of ballpark where we'd be at.
Is that in the budget, Crystal?
It is.
There's travel money in the budget, yes.
Okay, sorry, so normally we do 2.
Yes.
We said an extra 3, so we're keeping 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 altogether.
And one of our drivers would drive those charter buses?
No, it would be a charter company. They do busing and drivers and everything.
We still pay for their hotel room?
No, because it all goes through the charter company that takes care of everything. That's part of the 2 that we usually spend is our drivers going down there plus their hotel room and gas. So.
You know, to just sort of, I don't want to sound negative, but with all the changes that are occurring in the world of transportation, this sort of, we don't have a real firm figure, and that kind of makes me nervous.
I'm still working with the charter company. The quote came in around 10, and so I'm working with the charter company because we use them, is to reduce that down. So.
But what if they don't?
They said they would work with us, and so was that $100 or is it $1,000? I couldn't say, and that's why I say as a district, we kick in. The seniors have worked really, really hard to not only put on a great trip, but to take a charter down there, because at 3 in the morning and being gone for 24 hours is a lot. And like I said, from how hard they're working, I think their class has the most money that we've seen come through, is they've done a really good job. So,
How much have they raised?
oh gosh, I don't know off the top of my head.
Close to 10.
Yeah. So,
I think it's over 10.
yeah. So.
And charter's 10,000
Yeah.
to rent?
Yeah, and they still gotta pay for the lagoon tickets. They want to give more money, obviously food and things like that. So.
Do we have other questions? How soon do they need to know if I recognize it's hard to believe that graduation is this close.
So I don't know what the price would be, because obviously we'd have to wait till next school board meeting, right?
Yeah. And prices could go up, and I mean, there's just a lot to it. So.
We have to reserve them too, if you could.
Yep.
Yeah. Is this a standard that we would create for future instead of from 2 to 5?
I think the big part of it is because of cost rising so much. I mean, as we know, like even the 5th grade field trip. I mean, do you remember how much that was, Mrs. Olson, for the 5th grade field trip? 3 days all the way to the coast, wasn't it? Didn't it come in about 12?
Yeah.
Right, and so
Yeah.
think about that. And this is just 1 day down to Lagoon and back. And I mean, And so they didn't adjust to that, the whole cost, and so that's why I say, let's still make it special for them, they worked hard for it. Let's adjust for that so they can still do it, so.
What would be the pro for you, like recommending it versus just taking a bus? Like what's the pro and con for you?
Stress on our buses.
Oh, there's a loaded question, there's a lot of it, right? Keeping our buses here, our drivers, I know it's during Memorial Weekend.
Would you have drivers to do it?
Hopefully, it is a hard trip because it's not, I mean, they leave at 3 in the morning, means our bus drivers need to be out there at 2:30 to kind of do their trek, drive all the way in there, try to sleep during the day in a hotel, and then turn around, come back that night. So it is hard on our drivers, but a lot of them want to support the senior trip, so they try to do that, so.
I guess my question was, are we taking an opportunity away from a local driver that would want that money and resource?
So what we usually do, if they wanted to take it and they were doing that, we would compensate them for that, and so that would come out of transportation. So.
Can we make a motion to maybe go up to 5,000 or something? And not-
Yeah.
and pay that much and not go over that?
Yeah.
It's just a suggestion.
And it was as good as a surprise to the senior class, and it was to support them. And like I said, I've seen all the things they're doing and how they really kind of look forward to this trip, and so it was a surprise me asking the board for it. So, yeah.
I guess the one thing I would ask is the 5,000 doesn't cover, obviously, right, that we would still be open to taking 2 buses and allowing people to go, right? So the kids would get to go. Does that make sense? So they're not left out in the cold, right? We didn't have a contingency plan for that. Does that make sense?
So if we can still get that up to 5,000 as the district kind of sponsoring that, we would appreciate it. Go along there.
Is there more discussion from the board? How do you feel about?
I don't mind doing it. I would just say what we should do is establish what we're gonna do for the future as well. And does that rise every year a little bit, we add a little bit more? There should be some standard that we set. And not just because the school has worked hard, but like this is what our policy is.
To work off of that, actually, if I could add something, we have set a lot of new fundraisers. I feel like our class especially has like worked outside the box and reached out to like new ideas. We had a lot of new ideas this year. We found what worked for us. We found what got the most like feedback back, that the community loved us doing this, or maybe let's not do this fundraiser next year for the following class, which I hope to pass down to next year's ASB president so they can kind of give that back to their class. And so we would have maybe some more ideas and people that worked with us for fundraisers. Like, for example, we had a Kiwi Loco fundraiser. She was very welcoming and very down to earth and wanting to help NISA out with their fundraisers. So we would have maybe, if the class next year is as outgoing as hopefully as us, because I feel like we really were, not to boast, but I really hope that those connections can stay for next year's class as well, to be able to help them out and already have those connections for next year's fundraising.
I admire all your planning. It's good foresight.
I would say if you did the 5,000, obviously it gives us a little bit of time to make adjustments if we need to, right? For additional fundraising if it doesn't cover that, and it gives us at least a spot to go back to the company and say, this is what we kind of got. Can you make it fit, please? It's on behalf of kids and things like that, right? And so, I mean, I thought Mr. Hawkins has obviously worked with them more than I have, but odds are, like if we tell them that's the amount they have and we can get close to that, or, you know, it just depends kind of, we'll talk, obviously there's funds available other places too, right? So.
You're a good advocate.
I'm just saying, man.
No, I like it, I like it.
We don't do a senior skip day anymore. So in my mind, it's our contribution to the kids. Does that make sense as a school district? We used to do that where I remember like my trip, we skipped the day of school and went up to the hot springs, right? Does that make sense? Up north, can't remember which one it was, but that was what we did, and we had a barbecue. So we don't do that anymore, so I think the idea that we're able to support the kids and we know where they're at. I mean, the whole point for me is like we talked about doing it on a different day, potentially to save costs, Memorial Day, etc. But like the whole point of this is we're getting kids in a safe environment post-graduation to prevent them from doing stupid stuff, right? So we don't make the news somewhere. So I think in my brain, if you're willing to do $5,000, it's a pretty good investment on any one of those wonderful humans, let alone a whole bus full of them.
No, and we definitely want to get them there.
Yeah.
I think the big concern is, normally we've done two,
Yeah.
we're doing 2.5 times that. What happens if next year's class isn't as good at raising funds? Are they gonna say, hey, we want to
Yeah,
take a
I
charter
got you.
two, but we didn't kick in 7? I think that's where the concern is.
I think if we have a target for them, because the target moved so much in the last month.
It did.
And that was kind of the big issue, but if we say, like, this is usually where we're at with it, then they can hit that target or choose not to, and it wasn't.
Or they changed the trip.
Yeah.
I mean, this reality is you change the trip, right? We've done that before. You didn't have enough money to do that, so they went other places. So, yeah. Yeah, appreciate you guys' time and these questions.
Do we?
Both for
if
the
there's-
trip and the support of financial up to 5,000, so.
If there's no other discussion, do I hear a motion?
I would motion to fund up to 5,000 for the trip with the caveat that we come back and make a policy of how much we'll do annually.
I think we also need to add to the motion that if they can't make it work within that 5,000, we'll supply the 2 buses, the bus driver, and the hotel room, right? Yeah, and the gas. The needed transportation and money to get there.
Can we not use more funds?
Yeah,
To me, it'd be more of a budget item, right?
yeah, we can, I'll think about it, not policy, right? I mean, it wouldn't be
budget,
a policy, but it would
Yeah,
be
policy
just
is not
a
right.
procedure or something like that. nature.
Something that makes us come back and set some standards.
Yep.
I second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to support the senior trip as explained up to 5,000 and with the caveats. And if it isn't possible to use a charter, then we would look at using buses and our own bus driver. Does that need to be changed in any way? The additions? So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. The motion carries.
Thank you, buddy. All right.
Thank you.
Senior
I know.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah.
We'll move on then to superintendent's report.
Perfect. Well, happy April showers, everybody. It's been a little crazy out there, right? We've actually officially entered the 4th quarter of the school year. And you guys are talking about graduation and all of this, like we're there. I would like to start my message, as usually, with Mr. Murray, giving us a federal programs update and talk about how the recent reductions may impact our budget for next year in federal. So, thank you.
So, as you know, we received our federal programs allocations report last week, and apart from the migrant funding, the other federal programs are at about the same numbers they were last year, about 3% lower, but that reflects a small reduction in student population, so there really will be no change in services that we provide from that funding. And then as far as the migrant funding goes, it's about 30% less than it was last year, but it represents a 3-year rolling average. And so essentially, we have a reduction of 50% of our student population, our student migrant population. So again, we won't see a reduction in the services that we provide. Simply reflects the fewer students that we have because it's basically a per student allocation. So we will continue to fund at those same levels and those same services next year, with the exception of migrant preschool. We have 2 qualified students of migrant preschool or preschool age, and so they will be going to OCDC or some other preschool. Those would be those 2 students. But apart from that, our funding is effectively the same as it has been previously, and the services will remain that way as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Can I ask a quick question? So, I mean, we all know what's been going on with immigration, but is there any, is that the primary reason our migrant students are down 50%, or what's going on there?
It's certainly part of the reason. Another big part of the reason is we're finding that families, rather than coming and working in agriculture and then leaving and going somewhere else, is that they're continuing to work in agriculture, but they're not moving. They're more stable here, so we have a more stable population. And that's not just here in Nissa or in Oregon, but that's pretty much the case across the country with migrant education.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so our overall, I mean, obviously our overall numbers aren't dropping by that much, but that we're not losing 50% of the students who were migrants, they're just losing the classification.
Correct,
Okay.
exactly right. Well put.
Okay.
Any other questions for Mr. Murray?
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you, Mr. Murray. Yeah, as we already said, we are all entering testing season with students 3 through 8 and 11 participating in the OSAS assessments. As you know, and I've reported to the board, we've been working really hard all year and closely monitoring student progress. I'm just really excited to share with the community the growth and achievements we're going to see. And I mean, this is kind of our big game, right? This is our championship, and so everything we worked for this year, I'm excited to see the fruits of that. Looking ahead to the summer, we're going to be full construction mode again across the districts. Projects will include the remodel of the high school science classrooms, new HVAC systems, and roof for the cafeteria, middle school parking lot improvements, a new bathroom for the high school. So there's just a myriad of things that we're planning and working on right now. And so it might change some traffic patterns around, but hopefully it doesn't have an impact on anything. As we begin planning for phase 2 of our facility work, I'm going to be forming a building committee that includes staff and community. And so this group will help us gather input, plan thoughtfully, and guide the next stages of our growth for Nissa. The main committee will break into subcommittees, focus on key projects such as the new sports facility, cafeteria model, and major improvements. And so I'm going to be asking the community to please volunteer and help us plan for the future of Nissa, because as you know, like our auditorium and gym, when planned really, really well, it'll be amazing for years to come. I mean, we're 60-something years on that building. We want to continue that trend. So we need everybody's help. Speaking of facilities, I'd also like to remind everyone that our campus is closed from dusk to dawn. That means at night we ask that the public stay off of the grounds just for safety reasons, and also during school hours of the day. And I know that back here people often try to cut through. What we try to do is keep it closed down because we do have kids out there running around. We want to make it for safety reasons. So I just want to remind the public of that. So our track and field have also been open to the public for several months now, and we ask for the community's help in keeping those facilities available. Please remember, no smoking, no wheeled equipment, no pets, and things like that on the turf. That could ruin that huge investment that we've made into it. Responsible use will help ensure that we continue to offer this incredible space to our community. So those are little things that we've been saying and saying, hey, we need your help to keep it amazing and keep it open. There's also kindergarten roundup will be on the 16th. Whew, I grabbed the wrong one. And I love this event. It's getting our future kindergartners here. We ask that parents show up to that, not only get to kind of meet the staff and teachers, but it gives us a good solid number of the kids coming in. And usually we hit about 50% of incoming kindergartners go to roundup. We'd like to see that kind of push up to 60% or more. So that will be April 16th from 4 to 5. We'll send out things on Facebook, text messages, all of those things. If you have a friend or you have a kindergartner, get the word out to them. Invite them all. So, did you guys have anything to add to that?
They'll all walk away with a backpack full of summer activities for them to work on will get them ready for kindergarten. And that is kind of a dual sponsorship. The ESD sponsored some of it, and then we wrote a grant, transition grant, that sponsors the rest of it. So
that'll also be the second opportunity for incoming kindergarten parents to choose dual language or not. So be a lot going on that evening from 4 until 5:30. We just like to meet our new parents and get them signed up to volunteer with our PTO.
It will also be a way for the incoming kindergarten students to qualify for our summer school for this summer. So we're gonna take the testing data that we receive from that kindergarten roundup, and then we will invite some incoming kindergartners to our summer school program as well.
And I'm really excited. This is the first year I don't have to go. So I'd like to actually close with a story that highlights the kind of community we're fortunate to be a part of here in Nissa. On Friday night, I got a call from our child nutrition supervisor. It was about 9 o'clock. She said, "Ryan, the freezer's broke." That's the one, the big one we have downstairs. It's probably this big. Thousands upon thousands of pounds of food was thawing. Obviously the money and those things and the planning. She said, "I need help." So I ran down there with my daughter. Everybody else was getting in bed, and I called Crystal. I called Kevin Draper, and I said, "Find whoever you got. I need help." And within 15 to 20 minutes, we had 35 plus people here, helping get all that food back into a new freezer and saving not only a fun night for me, but it was saving all of that, and it just kind of shows how amazing our community is. And so first I'd like to kind of thank the Drapers, the Becks, the Butlers, the Longs, the Carltons, the Burbanks, the Walkers, the Bakers, and Woodruff families, as well as Gina Frill and Chris Cram for stepping up and sacrificing their evening for Nissa. And it wasn't even like a second thought, they were there immediately. And it's just amazing. And so, and I know that if I would have put out, "Hey, text message, I need help," I would have had so many more people there. And so it was just an amazing reminder of the community we live in and the people that we have around us. And so I just want to say thank you to those people and thank you to everybody, and that's why we are Nissa Strong. So, and that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have questions for Ryan?
Did we get the freezer fixed?
No, not yet. We're working on a new condenser. We luckily rented a freezer because of kind of getting our food in for summer school, and it came on Wednesday, and I think the other freezer knew that, got jealous and broke. Regardless, the timing was perfect because I would have not only said, "Hey, I need you to come help me, but I also need your freezer." And so it worked just, it was perfect. We had truck after truck backing up, and they were going down there, and right underneath the stadium was the temporary freezer, and so it was really amazing. So, and it was rainy and cold, and it didn't matter. We were having fun and moving stuff. So, that was sort of, yeah.
Mr. Pratt, I do have a question. Is there a limit on the number of students who can be enrolled in the dual language program?
Yes, there is. 38.
38.
And that's to provide openness for all of our kids, but also for those monolinguals that might show up throughout the school year that need at least a half day's support in the Spanish language. So, but yes, that number usually stays pretty consistent up until about 3rd, 4th grade, and then the numbers drop a little bit. We provide a wait list for families, so anybody sign up. But then we'll
You mean I can sign up?
Sure. I'd love to have you.
Put down the list.
Coming back to kindergarten, Pat?
Hey, you know what? It might be nice. I can probably do a better job now. Are there any other questions, comments? Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. We'll now move on to Crystal and the financial report.
Yes. Well, tonight I have financials for everything through March 31st of the fiscal year. Just want to quickly, the first page is always a summary of our general fund, but I would like to look at the second page, which breaks down every single month. Specific attention to the month of March. We received, just quickly go through our revenue, almost $6,300 in current year taxes, property taxes, and just $721 in prior year tax. Also wanted to point out, just moving down the list, a little bit of rentals, some miscellaneous revenue, our state school fund. So we brought in a little over $2.5 million in revenue last month. Our expenditures that went out, at a pretty standard payroll month. There were no additional stipends or extracurricular, what do we call them, contracts, coaching contracts. That didn't hit in March, so our payroll was a little lower, but our expenditures totaled a little over 2.1 million, so we brought about 384,000 down to our bottom line that we're just carrying over till the month of June, when we spent almost all of that finishing out the year. The next report is always our local government investment pool for the district. That's where like our state school fund money goes into that account. So that balance we're right over a little over 15 million. If you flip to the next page, it shows all the transactions that happened out of that account. The taxes we received that equal the taxes on the second page that we just went over, that state school fund. And then every time we do transfer money out of that account, it charges us 5 cents. So when you see the first line every month of -5 or -10, that's just how many transactions we did for the month prior. Following that is just the tax report from the county, breaks down those taxes that we've received. After that is our breakdown of our middle school bond fund. We're currently at $421,435. Our upcoming debt service payment is right at $400,000, so we have enough money to cover that payment. Next page is our monthly statement for our middle school bond LGIP account. Just shows those taxes that we received and the interest off of that for the month. And then again, the breakdown from the county of those taxes. And then following that is our operating statement for food service. So our total revenue as of March 31st is $697,000-ish. Total expenditures, a little over 803. Keeping in mind food, salaries, and benefits as our biggest expense in that department. I wanted to mention we had 13 days of operation or service of meals in the month of March. We served 8,112 breakfasts, 10,636 lunches, and 1,565 snacks. And then I wasn't sure if I've recently told you guys how much we receive per meal for reimbursement, so I thought we might be interested. Snacks, we receive $1.26 each. Breakfast, it's $2.94 each breakfast we serve, and lunch is $4.62. So we ended negative 105,000, almost 106,000. Last month it was about 108, so we have reduced that deficit a little bit. That's because we did a lot of our billing for caterings, extra things that we've done, not just day-to-day food service. So those billings got done. So it's better numbers than last month. After that is the approval of the bills. This was ran March 3rd through April 4th, everything that left the district's account, all of our expenditures. And after that is our payroll report for the month of March. Does anyone have any questions?
I've got one.
Okay.
Umpqua Bank, it says check number 0. We had a bill from Umpqua Bank.
What page are you on, sir? Sorry.
So page 5.
Page 5?
Yeah, go to approval of bills report.
So Umpqua Bank for the $18,058.46. So that, or which one?
$562,239.89.
So that would be our payroll, our ACH file that went out to our bank to then be dispersed to staff.
Okay, I was asking, why do we have a bill from the bank? Okay.
Nope, that's us submitting payroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good question. I just had a reminder to the board that on May 5th at 6 p.m., you are all invited to my budget meeting for fiscal year 27. It's our first budget committee meeting. And dinner will be provided, and it'll be in this room.
May 6th, you said?
May 5th at 6.
Better have Mexican food.
We will. We're having Mexican. All right. You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
6. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda. Unless there are any other questions for Crystal. We'll move on to the consent agenda then. Are there any questions about the consent agenda? Or any notations? In that case, do I hear a motion on the consent agenda?
I make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
It's been moved by Susie to accept the consent agenda as presented. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved by Susie and seconded by Donnie to accept the consent agenda. Are there any questions? In that case, all those in favor, signify by raising your hand. The motion carries. There's no new business. The next item is a board report. On May 4th, there is a CTE ceremony, certificate ceremony at Four Rivers Cultural Center. And we will be, I would like to invite you all to attend that in lieu of our work session meeting. If there are any questions, once we see the agenda for our next meeting, please feel free to call the superintendent or call me or to call Susan. We'll get the questions answered. At our work session, we received the scholarship, our board scholarship applications, and we've all had a chance to look at those or are looking at those, and those rankings are due to Megan by the 24th or on the 24th, Megan?
By the 24th.
By the 24th. I've gone through them. They're very good applications. There's 16 of them. There are a lot of good students here at our school, a lot of good seniors. The last thing is that the Statement of Economic Interest, the SEI, the deadline is April 15th, which coincidentally is tax day. But as I've been told, not everyone has finished the SEI yet, and we need to get in by the 15th. Is there anything else? Any other questions? Other than I want you to know I hate that SEI. If there are no other comments then, this